What if Female Deku had a Doctor Quirk? Part 1. And we now start this series, and Female Deku, or I will call Izumi because it's my what if, and she was, Ingo was in the hospital and was giving birth to Izumi, as Izumi was born and then was washed up by the doctor and then given to Inko, as Inko hugs the newborn Izumi. And after Inko did, the Inko's entire body healed from childbirth, as Izumi's skin went slightly pale, as the doctors and Inko were surprised, but the doctors quickly took Izumi to another room for checkup, and Inko was worried. But after a few days later, the doctor explained that Inko's child Izumi had already might have unlocked her quirk, which they believe is a healing quirk, with the downside being that her child gets younger, and that when Izumi did that unconsciously healing her, she had gotten at least a month younger, which made her skin slightly pale, and Inko was worried and asked if Izumi was going to be alright, and the doctor said that Izumi would be fine. And after a few days later, Izumi and Inko were discharged, and Hisashi had left to go get the milk since I hate him, and because he did not do shit in the original series. And so we now time to Izumi being 4 years old and playing with other girls instead of Bakugo, because boys and boys, girls and girls, and cooties, I guess. And so Izumi would not get bullied, and the other girls would be supportive because Izumi always told them the story that when she was born, she had used a quirk on her mom to heal her, and this made everyone shocked. And on times when there were games and when someone got slightly injured, Izumi healed them, which had not made any younger because it's stamina she is recovering, not injuries. There's no bleeding here. But when someone got injured, Izumi did not heal them, and because Inko explained why, and Izumi had taken it to heart because Inko stated that Izumi would have turned into a baby again if she did that. But basically the ratio between this is like 1 second of not no like the more severe the injury is, the more time she loses. So basically, if your hand is cut off, then that will take at least 30 minutes of that will make 30 minutes Izumi. That will make Izumi 30 minutes younger. That's it. And on the following months, Izumi found that she can turn her body into either fully into titanium or tungsten, or both together. And once she did, Inko had taken Izumi to the Quirk doctor to get a check to see if it made Izumi younger or not. And the Quirk doctor, after testing some things with Izumi, came to the conclusion that this part of her quirk does not make her any younger. And after Inko heard that, she breathed a sigh of relief, and Izumi had been happy to be able to use another part of her quirk that does not make her any younger. And then in the following years, Izumi had met Bakugo but ignored him because he was annoying ass, because of an annoying little bitch. And so she trained her tungsten and titanium quirk, which is a part of her doctor quirk. And also, most surgical tools are either made of these two materials, so I only choose these two, or I would have chosen more, like stainless steel, which made her more strong and durable and faster, which was a good thing, until she started to realize the downside of her other abilities, which each make her younger depending on the usage. And she has teleportation, healing, obviously, and sedation, pain suppression, and making and all of these make her younger from the usages. And once Izumi mastered them, which was very easy, she started to see what she could do with them. And then we now transfer to Izumi being at age 11, and the problem arises. And it was that Inko had gotten cancer. Wow. And it was in its last stage. And after Inko and Izumi learned about that, Izumi and Inko spent more time together. Some family bonding, a lot of family bonding. And after 6 months later, Inko had died, which made Izumi without parents, and she was very saddened and cried a bit, but made a promise to cure every disease in the world quietly. And so after that, Izumi was sent to an adoption home, but Izumi did not like this since she would rather be alone than get adopted by someone. And in the next 2 years, Izumi read as many books as she could about being a doctor and learning everything about it, and learned that she has another ability, and which does not make her any younger, and it is called overcall, which makes her perception so fast that everything seems slow to her, even high fast movements. And she also realized she unlocked this ability when she could, and when she unlocked this ability, she could not turn it off at all. So now everything is slow to her from perspective. And she also found out that she every time gets younger when she loses her strength. No wait, let me rephrase that. Every time she gets younger, she loses her strength, speed, and endurance, which is very bad. So she uses her healing and teleportation sparingly. And when people actually wanted to adopt her, she would hide, and this kept going on for 2 years until Izumi was at the age of 30, and she left the adoption home and first got in a job, unlike you idiots, as a maid. Femboy. She had gotten a job in a cafe, and after doing that and multiple other jobs, not what you think, she had gotten enough money to open her own clinic. And spoiler alert, this will go horribly long. Wrong, not long. Which is made with pure tungsten and titanium because no wait no, it's made of pure titanium. That's it. because of her controlling those materials very easily, in fact. And I'm not giving her the ability of basically things back, like basically Logia abilities for Monpage. I'm not giving that. That's too OP for my part. And making her read to water just is just stupid. At first, no one would come until she would start getting some patience, and this would be slow. But her healing every time perfectly. Actually, when healing colds or poisons or any external issues when healing those issues don't actually make her any younger because her quirk only makes her younger when she has to deal with internal injuries. So anything like a poison, well, like a poison or a cold or a hot something does not make her any younger. But instead, like let's say that she gets a poison that is very poor. Like basically kills 100 people in one single drop. That will take a lot out of her. As long as the person can get there, of course. Ah! And when people with injuries actually came, she healed them in seconds and only becoming a few minutes or seconds younger. And this kept going on for 1 year until on one day, after healing a few of her patients, until some police officer and a Lotia hero who we are going to arrive at her clinic, and Izumi looks at them confused as they say that she's under an investigation for unlicensed medical practice and that the police are and after the police are they're polite at first and since Izumi is helping people free of charge, but they are still following the law, and the NPC hero is awkward, saying, "Look, kid, I don't make the rules. You need a license, even if you're helping people." And Izumi looks at them, saying, "Look at my face." And as Izumi says that, she calls them, saying, "I missed the part where that was my problem." And after Izumi said that, the cops and NPC hero were annoyed and gave her one last chance, saying, "Young lady, it's your last chance before we detain you." And after they said that Izumi, in a sarcastic tone, says, "Really, I'm helping people free of charge, and you know what? Sure, I will stop, and I hope you'll feel great for getting rid of someone who's giving free healthcare free of charge." And after Izumi said that the patient's reactions are a mother clutching a chibi child says, "Wait, you can't just take her away. She's the only one who helped my boy when no hospital would." And an elderly man who was bandaged earlier says, "I don't care about your license. She saved my leg. Are you really saying paperwork matters more than lives?" And the whole waiting room begins murmuring, and after shouting at the officers, cops and heroes, and the police officers, the younger one shifts unconsciously, glancing at the angry patient, saying, "Sir, maybe we should reconsider." This is turning into a scene. Stage turn, but his jaw tightens. He doesn't he doesn't look like the bad guy in front of the civilians. He doesn't like looking like the bad guy in front of civilians. As he says, "The law is the law. We'll be reporting this to the higher authorities." And after the officer said that, the NPC hero awkwardly caught in the middle says, "Listen, I don't want to drag you off. I'm just doing a job. But maybe there's a way you could apply for an official license. If you don't, others will come who won't be this polite." And he sighs, saying that, as Izumi says, "Okay, fine. Now leave before I make you leave." And the officers would say, "Okay, but this is the last warning." And after the senior officer said that they would all leave, as the patients say they're thankful to Izumi and that they will stand up for her. And Izumi nods, telling them that it's fine. And the rest of the day goes normal as the patients leave. As at the dead of night, Izumi teleports 3 miles away to a government area, right? Or government facility, I think facility, which only made her 3 seconds younger. And as Izumi entered, she bribed an official to give her a medical degree because she does not have 10 years to spend money to get a doctor's license, to spend time to get a doctorate, and she would pay him a good sum of money, and the money is from some mercenary work which she is able to, because if she's able to open someone's heart out without flinching, then she can already do this as well. But she also has the personality of losing a loved one, so yeah, I'm adding that part because I don't really give a shit about what you people think. And she's not afraid to fight. And on the next day, while Izumi was helping the patients, the officers came in again, and the senior officer said, "Izumi Midoriya, we told you yesterday." And Izumi sighs, pointing at the wall, which has a degree already there, and it surprised them as the junior officer says, "Well, from what I can see, it's real." And the senior officer says, "No. No way, it takes years to get it. It's not possible." And Izumi is saying, "Doesn't matter, I got it, so fuck off." No, wait, she did not say that. That's too rude because fuck this. Okay, let me rephrase that. As Izumi is saying, "It's called special rating, so now get off my damn property." And after Izumi said that, the senior officer suspicious says, "Where did you get that? It's not possible." And Izumi is saying, "It's called special testing, now get the hell off my clinic." And after Izumi said that, the senior officer was cleared, but the junior officer says, "Sir, we have to leave. This is private property." And after the junior officer said that both of them left, as the patient whispering said, She's legit now. Then they can touch her, serve them right. And after that, Izumi continued her work for Izumi continued, and we now time skip to 8 months later. Izumi was attending to some witch patient with some small injuries until the hero rank 50 comes in with some injuries as he looks at him saying as she looks at him saying, Hero's way, now take the red seat. And the hero was confused, but Izumi says, I said take the red seat on the back. And the hero initially did so as one of the patients, an old woman, asked, why do they have to pay, young lady? And Izumi sighs, saying, simple, they have the money, and you all don't. Just accept that you're poor as well. I don't really care. I just don't want to hear any lies. And even if you like, I can just read your mind. And after Izumi said that some of the patients laughed a bit as they were discharged as Izumi got to the red sea and then she heals up for her week in a few minutes, in seconds and becoming a few seconds there and she looks at him saying, okay, that will cost 20,000 yen. And the hero asked why so much even though the process was fast and Izumi looks at him saying, simple, cause I used my quirk. Now pay up. And the hero reluctant to pay as he left and then in a month and then 1 month later, as Izumi is about to be 15 in 2 months more, and still doing the doctor work and coming up with many antidotes for different diseases, but not testing them because she does not have any guinea pigs yet. And in this 1 month, she has gotten some very hard problems, like a girl giving birth, not age reference, and a cut it off person and fixing an eye. So this went on for a while until the 1 month had passed, as Izumi was turning to the stage which had gotten slightly bigger, but not that big. It's because she learned a new ability from her Doctor Quirk, which is that she can create, and also she learned a new ability from her Doctor Quirk, which allows her to create clones of herself, which don't make her younger, but the limit of clone is how much stamina she has, and the work has been going great until it ended, and everyone left. And on one day, the work had finally ended, and one day everyone left as they sat in the gate of the at the like a small or medium-sized skill as someone knocks. As Izumi says, "Today is closed. Come in next day." As the person who knocks says, "It's Pro Heroes, kids," and Izumi sighs, saying, "I said it's closed today." And after Izumi said that, the person who was there spoke up saying, kid, listen, you have to open it. And after Izumi heard that, she sighed and turned on the lights as she opened the door, seeing Pro Hero Aizawa and two random NPC heroes as Aizawa says, can we come in? And Izumi scoffs, saying, fine, and make this conversation quick, you. And after Izumi said that, she let them in as she looked at them, crossing her arms, and as Aizawa said, kid, while we're okay, let me rephrase that. I had to do an Aizawa talking perfectly as well. And Izumi crossed her arms as Aizawa says, kid, while what you're doing is great, you can do it. And after Aizawa said that, Izumi angry says, I already have a damn doctor's license, so fuck off and leave. And Aizawa sighs, saying, okay, license is fine. Wait, no, let me rephrase that again. And Aizawa sighs, saying, kid, the license is okay, but the problem is that you can't use your healing code because you don't have a hero license. And after Aizawa said that the entire small room had been filled with killing intent, as Izumi says, say that again. And as Izumi says that the air grows heavy, metallic veins ripple faintly in the floor, and the two NPC's hero tense up, watching Izumi carefully. Aizawa doesn't say cartouching, prepared but steady. The NPC hero number one nervously says, kid, please, we are not against you, but the commission won't care about the good initiatives. NPC hero number 2 sternly says, keep this up and they'll see you as a threat. And after Izumi heard that, she scoffed, saying, you know what, let's see how the people react who I helped. As Izumi said that, the entire small building, which is I'd say around, I don't really know how, like let's just say a small clinic, but like small, like not like big building level, but like small building. Yeah, that basically like a small mansion. That's it, like a small bedroom apartment, but like 2 times or 3 times bigger. That's it. And then, as Izumi used her titanium manipulation, she absorbed the entire building into her because everything in the building was made of titanium. And the heroes were shocked because the entire small building around them disappeared into Izumi. As Izumi says, I hope you're happy and good fucking bye. And as Izumi said that, she teleported away. And NPC hero number 1 says, how did she do that? And NPC hero number 2 says, maybe the building was made with something she could control, like a metal core. And Aizawa sighed, saying, I guess so, but let's return. It's over. And on the next day, the people who Izumi helped were royally pissed and were talking about a lot, which created some rumors about the hero being corrupted and all, which it is, and that they did not allow a person who helped people for free and this will give the Hero Association a bad rep, and we now time here to, let me think. 7 months later, as Izumi has been taking mercenary jobs because that's the only job that requires precision and smartness, and that's a faster way to get money, and she realized she needed a lot of money because she has some big plans. I meant massive plans. Let me rephrase that she has some massive plans. And that's it for part 1 because the client ChatGPT said so, because this video would be more than 20 minutes if I did not fuck up. Oh wait, it's actually 15 minutes now. uh, okay, but and also ChatGPT said so, and me saying that is cringe, and you probably think that saying cringe is outdated as hell. And like and subscribe so I can reach 1k and start earning some money, because family life is bullshit.